Hi everyone, welcome back to the Castrology channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kaylin and today we're going to be looking at your August 2025 horoscope. This is a tropical Western astrological reading and you can watch your horoscope for your ascendant, sun and moon sign. However, if you've only got time to watch one horoscope today, then I would start off with your ascendant sign, which is also known as your rising sign. If you're wanting to see more astrological content and updates from me, please feel free to check out my Instagram and Facebook accounts. It's the same handle, which is Castrology. Without further ado though, let's get into your August horoscope. Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your August 2025 horoscope. Let's begin by taking a look at career and business for you. So there's a big activation to your 10th house as of the 7th of August through till the 21st of September. So what we're seeing here is Mars entering the sign of Libra, which means it's going to be transiting the very top of your house, which is associated with your career, your public reputation, as well as leadership responsibilities. Okay, so Mars transiting your 7th house can see there being challenges in the workplace. Now, on one level, that can play out as being at loggerheads with your boss or with an authority figure or someone who is a superior to you in the workplace. But on a different note, this can actually look like certain opportunities coming through for you to step up to the plate and demonstrate your leadership skills. So if there's a promotion on the table, if there is any kind of opportunity that piques your interest that looks like it would be quite a challenging and rewarding position, then I encourage you to go for it. But just remember that Mars transiting your 10th house for about 7 or 8 weeks does indicate that if there's a new position that becomes available or a promotion that you are trying to land, that there will be some fierce competition involved. Now, something to note is that when Mars transits the 10th house, we can come off as more aggressive, pushy, or even bossy than we intend to be. Don't get me wrong, Mars going through your 10th house is an amazing transit for work in terms of productivity, displaying your leadership skills, as I mentioned before, but you're really walking the tightrope between coming off as assertive and ambitious and goal-oriented and being pushy, or in some instances being power-hungry, a micromanager, or, worst case scenario, bullying. So that is the tightrope that you may be walking between about the 7th of August through till the 21st of September, with a spotlight on around the 9th and 10th of August. And I say this because that is when Mars in Libra in your 10th house will be opposing Saturn and Neptune in your 4th house. But just know that Mars will also be trining Uranus in Gemini and trining Pluto in Aquarius. So we've got some positive aspects that offset that. Now, on the 12th of August, Venus and Jupiter will form their annual conjunction, and this time it'll be taking place in the sign of Cancer in your 7th house. So the 7th house represents our one-to-one personal relationships, sales, deals, negotiations, as well as our clients. So this conjunction here in your 7th house could indicate that there is a new opportunity that comes through for you to maybe sign a new contract, to maybe have an opportunity to work with a new client or a new working arrangement or collaboration opportunity. Okay, so obviously we've zoomed in on the 12th of August, but just so you're aware, Jupiter is transiting your 7th house for literally the next 11 months. But in the month of August, it will be transiting the degrees of 11 through till 17 degrees. So if you're a Capricorn, rising sun or moon between 11 and 17 degrees, then you are going to experience the exact opposition. Okay, so that means that you guys are more impacted than the other Capricorns. Nevertheless, Venus is transiting your 7th house as we enter the month and through till around the 25th of August. And like I said, Jupiter's here the whole time. So Venus and Jupiter both in your 7th house can lead to more clients, more sales, more deals, more fierce negotiations, and this potential increase in contracts, clients, etc., etc. And if you are involved in sales or if you offer any kind of one-to-one service, then I do anticipate that August would be a very busy month for you. So now let's have a look at finances and property. Okay. On the 9th of August, we've got a full moon in Aquarius in your 2nd house, and this will be at 16 degrees. The 2nd house in astrology relates to our personal income as well as our resources and our finances in general. So full moons indicate a moment of awakening, realization, in some instances completion, and things coming to fruition. So some of you may experience a shift in your personal income in terms of what you're earning, so that may be brought to your attention. Someone could pay you back, or you could finally close off a loan or pay someone back. Maybe the shoe's on the other foot there. Maybe you are procuring an important investment or selling off an investment, and in the way of possessions, you may be coming into a possession or parting with one of your resources or important possessions. Okay, so for you, something significant may happen around the 9th of August that relates to your personal income, your possessions, your investments, and resources. All right, or you could be having an awakening or an epiphany about your financial situation, your spendings, your budgets. Maybe you have achieved some kind of goal as it relates to what you're saving for, or you're meeting some kind of important budget. Now, still talking about finances and resources, your 8th house is really rather activated for the whole month of August, and the 8th house is responsible for your mutual resources. So this represents joint bank accounts, joint investments, money that you earn through other people, or financial support that you either receive from other people or that you offer to other people. And this also includes your financial arrangements and arrangements that involve resources. Okay, so this can look like alimony money, spousal support, even child support, child custody, your arrangements with other people. And with Mercury being in Leo for the whole month and retrograde as we enter the month, it'll be direct once more on the 11th of August. So the retrograde here can lead to there being changes, revisions, edits, and basically this can indicate that you may be closing off a joint bank account or maybe reopening a bank account. There could be changes to jointly owned property, so that could come down to percentages. There may be changes that you are making to a will or that you are being made aware of that would affect you in terms of a future will or inheritance that you are anticipating. This can also lead to there being changes to the financial contribution that you make to others. And again, this could be child support money, spousal support money, or it could be what you are receiving. Okay, so long story short, the arrangements are shifting when it comes to your mutual resources and whatever agreements you have with other people. That won't hit on every single level. It's just as it pertains to your specific situation. Some of you may be changing insurance companies or insurance providers, or you may be appealing a certain decision. Maybe that relates to child support or child custody as an example. And Mercury retrograde here in the 8th house could indicate that you may actually uncover nefarious activity that impacts your financial situation that you share with another person. So that could be about investments, joint bank accounts, joint property, shared property, etc., etc. So I repeat, Mercury's in Leo for the whole of August, but also as we enter the month, we're still in Leo season, which means that the sun will be transiting your 3rd house for the first 3 weeks of the month. So the sun going through your 8th house indicates that you are taking an interest in these things. You're interested in my joint bank accounts with other people, shared investments, learning about the stock market potentially, or educating yourself about different types of insurance companies and policies, and so on and so forth. At the end of the month, Venus will enter the sign of Leo, so that'll be on the 25th or the 26th of August, depending where you live in the world. So this can indicate that you make more money in your joint investments that you have with other people, or your partner's income, their monthly pay or weekly pay or whatever it is, may be increasing, and maybe they're receiving a lump sum of money, or you yourself could be earning more money through certain business ventures or collaborations that you have with other people. So looking at property, the first couple of days of the month, there seems to be some pressure on you as it relates to the aspects that I'm seeing here. So Venus in Cancer in your 7th house is going to square Saturn in Aries in your 4th house, and then it's going to square Neptune in Aries in your 4th house just, a few hours later. So the 4th house in astrology rules over our property and living situation, and the 7th house represents contracts, negotiations, and so on and so forth. So here there may be some pressure to try and renegotiate the terms of a lease or a contract. That could be you renting a property, or there may be important conversations or discussions that you are having about tenants in one of your investment properties, or what to do with one of your investment properties. Or maybe they are raising some kind of issue with you, and there could be a challenging situation that you potentially have to work through. Now, to be fair, Mars being in your 10th house is opposing your 4th house for 7 or 8 weeks. Ultimately, there may be important discussions about whether you should be taking a risk with your property and living situation. So that could look like renovating or repairs. Maybe this is a look in at relocating or taking a risk by entering the property market. Or perhaps some of you are looking at pursuing things like permanent residency, visas, or citizenship. Okay, so lastly here, just a note that for the first half of the month, Saturn and Neptune will be as close as possible to forming a conjunction in Aries in your 4th house, and they will make that exact conjunction in February 2026. So many Capricorns may be looking at their long-term living situation. So there may be very important, I keep saying important, but significant plans that you are making or that you are intending for your living situation. And to me, this isn't just like, should we move down the street? It could be about your existing property. Do we need to look at selling? Are we wanting to buy? Are we wanting to move interstate or overseas? Are we wanting a holiday house? Should we be considering whether we can have our children live with us or have grandchildren in the house? These sorts of futuristic conversations that are super significant and that can really impact your plans for your family for years to come. Okay, so I guess we've sort of segued now into the family and home life portion of your horoscope. The first few days of the month, I repeat, having Venus in Cancer in your 7th house, squaring Saturn and Neptune in your 4th house, could indicate that there's a bit of pressure on some of your family relationships. So this could be with your children, this could be with your parents, this could be indicative of your desire to provide certain things for your children versus in terms of what they're asking for, whether that is, can we get pets? Can I have an iPad? I want an iPhone. Or, it could be something about their comfort and what they are asking of you, and this is maybe flying in the face of what you think you should be doing as a parent. So There could just be these challenging conversations that arise or decisions as it relates to discipline and what you are willing to provide your children with. Okay, so that's one element of it. To be honest, having Mars in your 10th house in Libra, opposing Saturn and Neptune in Aries for literally, 7 or 8 weeks, but to be specific, the exact oppositions are around the 9th and 10th of August. This can see you feeling rather conflicted between your professional life and your home life. So maybe you feel like you're being stretched on both ends. So there could be a lot of responsibilities to family members, whether that is helping out your parents, whether that is your responsibilities as a parent if you have children, or it could be about you wanting to expand your family further but feeling so pressured at work. There may just be a lot of things that you have to deal with professionally speaking. You may be accused of taking work issues and frustrations out on family members or people that you live with, or you could feel your family may feel kind of like they are not seeing enough of you or getting enough of you because of how much time you are giving to work or other responsibilities that are sort of like taking you away from the home. So look, obviously this is a heavy hitting set of aspects and news that I'm sharing with you, but there's absolutely positive takeaways here. So we've got Mars in Libra in your 10th house, and it's trining Uranus in Gemini, and it's trining Pluto in Aquarius in your 2nd house. So whatever is happening in your home life and family life, yes, there may be some pressure points around 7th to even 10th, 11th of August, but I really do think that you'll discover a solution to certain problems. So resources may become available to help you achieve this balance. Maybe you are figuring out what you can do to adjust your daily habits and routines and happen upon a solution that helps you solve a problem, and then you're able to be there for your family more so. Or perhaps it's your family who are relying on you to, I guess, help them out with their responsibilities, with their needs. And there may be other people in your life who are able to step up to the plate and be more supportive. On the 12th of August, there'll be a Venus-Jupiter conjunction in your 7th house at 14 degrees, which is conjunct the fixed star Sirius. So this could lead to there being a huge blessing that is bestowed on your family. And I'm inclined to say that this would either be your relationship with a sibling or maybe even an extended relative, or it could be your relationship with one of your children. I say this because Jupiter rules over your 3rd house, which is Pisces, and the 3rd house is about siblings, extended relatives like aunties, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews. But then Venus rules over your 5th house, where you've got Taurus, and the 5th house rules over children, okay? Whether that's your children, stepchildren, or even nieces and nephews, okay? Like children in your life. So let's have a look at love and relationships. For most of the month, Venus will be transiting your 7th house. So this can see you deepening your relationship with your significant other if you are in a relationship. Venus rules over the 5th house. So maybe you're looking at taking a relationship to the next level in terms of the seriousness of that relationship. And that is further bolstered by the Venus-Jupiter conjunction, which is occurring on the 12th of August, which I've mentioned a couple of times now. Jupiter transiting your 7th house, and again, this is a 1-year long transit. That is one of the most high-level indicators for there being a development in your sector of serious relationships, whether that is a committed relationship or a marriage. So there may be talk of getting engaged or getting married around the 12th of August, or just, talking about taking the next step in your relationship. Maybe you are discussing whether you should start a family. Also, Jupiter opposing you, especially if you're a Capricorn rising or moon, could be indicative of you actually getting pregnant or of your significant other getting pregnant. Okay, so you do have a very strong activation to your 8th house just by way of Mercury being in the 8th house the whole month, Leo season activating your 8th house for the first 3 weeks of the month, and then Venus entering your 8th house as of the 25th/26th of August for about 3 weeks. So this can see you getting to the root cause of certain issues in an existing relationship, or understanding what your needs are in a relationship. Even if you're single, it's like, okay, I now know why I haven't entered a relationship, or why that relationship didn't work out. And so it can lead to you having more self-awareness and perhaps even overcoming certain fears about intimacy, getting into a relationship, sex, and being vulnerable with other people. This can see you maybe recommencing a sexual relationship with another person, or taking your existing connection to a sexual place with someone else. Or perhaps you are working with a therapist to maybe unravel certain elements of relationship dynamics or your sexuality. So lastly, Capricorn, with this activation to your 8th house, maybe some of you are going to be meeting up with a therapist or psychologist, getting to the root of certain issues that are psychological in nature or related to your mental health. This can see you maybe even deepening your astrological studies and knowledge, or overcoming fears and insecurities just as an umbrella topic as a whole. Also, there's a strong activation to your 9th house, because you are going to have a new moon here in the sign of Virgo. So that's on the 23rd of August at 0 degrees. So it's in your 9th house and trining you. So this can see there being a focus for you on travel, on education, or maybe even legal matters. And again, this is another indicator of maybe exploring what you need to know about visas, permanent residency, and applying for citizenship. Okay, Capricorn, so that's all I have for you for your August horoscope. If you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content on the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you're interested in more regular updates astrologically in between these horoscopes, you can follow me at Kastrology on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy a month ahead, and I'll see you guys in September.